Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 62 of the Casual Weebs podcast. What a week. As always, every week has just been phenomenal. We are be getting into a lot more going forward now. Today we're going to be talking about, of course, Windbreaker and To Be Hero X, which were both phenomenal. But then also we're going to be adding a little Kowloon generic romance, which has been getting insane. In the last episode, started dropping some absolute lore bombs that I'm super, super, super excited to talk about and get into. But then also Fire Force, finally, Shinra's fight takes off. I thought we were going to be getting a new member to the Donut Club. I'm going to be brutally honest. I was surprised that we didn't.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, when that kick happened and it kind of like blew out his back, I was like, wait, is there going to be like a massive hole there? But there wasn't. It was just like fucking burn marks. I was like, ah. I was excited.
I was kind of disappointed. I didn't want Shinra to do that to his boy, but that's what the way it looked like. You know what I mean? When things are like cracking away, I'm like, damn, just killed my guy.
I was getting the supplies ready for like the entrance ceremony to like inaugurate him in, like welcome, but like it just wasn't the case. But still, a phenomenal episode, and it kind of left off on like a good cliffhanger where it's like, yo, what's gonna be happening in the next episode? It's getting crazy. Is the nun, the sister? I forget her name. I forget her name. I'm sorry, but is she like up to something? Dude, she's got powers. She's the one who saved them. Okay, we're gonna get into it. An amazing week. As always, I'm super excited, as we start getting into the end, like to the back half of these seasons as well. I feel like some of them are really going to start taking off, and I'm just stoked. But boys, next week we have the last part of this because I'm curing my addiction. I'm done. Dana Dan shirt came in. It's looking fly. All right. I have a Kaiju 8 one coming at the end of the week, which is why I'll for that one next week. All right. But then I'm done. I'm not getting any more. But TikTok shop, it's got anime merch. Be careful when buying stuff on there. Make sure you're checking the sizing charts. But dude, ready? Look at Turbo Granny.
That's so good,
Look
dude.
at Turbo Granny
So
just chilling out in the bath.
Dude, the back of that is awesome.
And then she's just sending it, bro. The Kaiju 8 one is also sick.
I love that.
I don't get it, but like TikTok really does have like the best like anime merch out there. It is fucking sick, and I gotta admit, like it's like pretty cheap, but like the quality is actually solid. Because I'm like buying this stuff for like what, $23? You know what I mean? Which isn't like that bad in like this day and age in this economy. And then you get it, and you're like expecting it to be like shitty. It's from the TikTok shop. It's like normally priced. But it's actually like solid shit. They're actually like really soft and comfortable. Again, be careful in buying it, but dude, like it's where it's at. We've talked about this. We might have to make a video on it at some point in the future where we talk about like anime culture. We say it all the time about like they don't care about anything outside of Japan. So like they don't like sell shit here. They don't make manga accessible to buy or like merchandise. Like you're buying that, you're buying it from someone who's just making it on their own. Probably not legally from copyright laws. You know what I mean? It's not like the official merch. Yeah. They gotta bring the official merch over here. They could be making so much more money, but they don't. And you know what? I'm happy because I'm getting it for cheaper and it looks sick. But anyways, let's get right into it. What do you want to start with? Loaded episode today.
Dude, really, really good. Sick week. I feel like Windbreaker was really good. I was like not really expecting that emotional of an episode.
Dude, okay, Windbreaker completely took me away. Let's hold on a second about the grandparents, because that couple is the couple. Like, the absolute couple. Like, I absolutely love I absolutely love them. Let's talk about TSUBAKI, alright? I was not expecting this. I don't think we've experienced TSUBAKI's full backstory, right? But we got the beginning part, and the beginning part is what surprised me. I always thought when we get TSUBAKI's backstory, I even said it last podcast up, I thought it was going to be a lot like Sakura's, where he gets bullied, you know what I mean, for his looks, and you're like, oh my god, those kids are pieces of shit, fuck them, TSUBAKI's the best, just like we did with Sakura, literally what we did with Sakura. But the fact that they started it off where it's like, no, TSUBAKI actually struggled a lot internally with himself at the beginning of us, I'm like, dude, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't think, like, we didn't have any, like, bullying this episode. When we got his backstory, it wasn't like anyone was making fun of him. They're like, hey, TSUBAKI, like, here's an ad for, like, a car. You like remote control cars, right? We know you like that. Where they're actually just trying to be good friends, you know what I mean? They think he likes certain things, and they're trying to, like, connect with him with that, right? But him internally is so, like, oh, what I like isn't normal, and that, like, crushes him. Or, like, isn't normal, you know what I mean? Crushes him, and, like, makes him have such a conflict, and it just breaks him down in the fact that, like, he met the old couple, and they were able to, like, show him that, like, dude, it's okay. Like, men used to wear high heels. That's how they used to stabilize on horses. They used to wear makeup. Who decided it's for what gender, you know what I mean? Like, do what you want and do what you think's awesome, and the fact that he was able to, like, get into that, absolutely amazing. Did not see that coming at all.
Nah, dude, and it was like a very different kind of backstory where you're right, like, kind of assumed like they were bullied or,
Hmm.
had it rough coming up, but it was like quite the opposite. He had like a really normal school life and had like, friends and people who, yeah, like went out of their way to like, make a connection with him. And when he's looking at the ad, he's looking at the cars and he flips it over and he sees like the, like Hello Kitty Sanrio vibe stuff. And he's like all about that, which I thought was funny because like, I don't know, I've always liked anime and like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So like in a way you can kind of relate to it, but yeah, his internal conflict where like he didn't feel comfortable being himself because he liked girly stuff was kind of cool. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's some real shit, but it was all about the couple, dude. Really, really well written, and it
Hmm.
was definitely not what I was expecting too. Because when you first meet Tsubaki, they're like really outgoing, really confident, like definitely what's the word for it? Like your personality, not an introvert, like extroverted, very
Oh,
extroverted.
outgoing, yeah.
Yeah, like definitely gives off those kind of vibes. So I was like pretty surprised at, kind of the beginning of that backstory.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for Sabaki. I think it's absolutely, incredible that he's, we're seeing that first part and we're seeing that transition into how he starts getting into cross dressing and stuff like that. It's gonna hit even harder when we do see the reception of it because we didn't see him like go to school yet, wearing other stuff. So how's it
Yeah,
going to be perceived? Is he going to have some people that are supportive, some that aren't? You know what I mean? So I feel like we're going to be having multiple or like definitely more emotional episodes, coming up. I feel like this is just kind of the start. This is kind of the appetizer to the in-depth, storytelling of Windbreaker this season, which I'm so, so, so excited for. I mean, seeing it on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts has been awesome. Like the reception of this season. I feel like Windbreaker is being talked about in season 2 more than ever because like it's insane because a lot of people like you have people that of course are like, all right, yep, this is fucking stupid, you want to be woke, we're done, we're dropping it. You have other people that are like getting into like the specifics of it, and other people are like, yo, why did this hit so hard? I wasn't expecting this at all. Why am I like, dude, I even sent you like there's a TikTok of like people like broken down like wiping tears away, like dude, like it impacted a lot of people. And it's like when you have anime that can able to reach you like that, it's the best. That's what got me hooked onto anime. You know what I mean? It's so much more than just like a cartoon. You know what I mean? And it just gets you so hyped up and excited. I'm so glad Windbreaker is like going deeper. It's not just all about fighting. It's not just some like, all right, we're just gonna beat delinquents and beat the fuck out of people. Like, it's just so much more than that. And there's like a lot of good storytelling, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I can't wait to keep seeing, upcoming episodes and seasons because I am now starting to get great. Thanks a lot, TikTok. Spoilers on Windbreaker manga, and got a little bit of
guys.
Sakura's backstory, and it's depressing as fuck. So. I'm looking forward to multiple seasons of Windbreaker. I know we're definitely getting some. It was an insane episode.
It's really good to hear that it's like well received because you're right. Like when you can connect with an anime like that, or
Mm-hmm.
it hits you emotionally. I mean, that's what it's all about. Whether it's movie or TV or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that's like as good as it gets. I feel like Windbreaker, what makes it so good is like, of course they do like the fights and the badass stuff, really well, but that's like almost easy. Like the way they write the other characters and kind of introduce you to people is really, really well done. And like, yeah, they take their time with it and go more in depth, which I think makes you like enjoy the side characters more and like they're less like side characters and it's one big cast, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
not always done. It's kind of hard to do to give everybody like their own space, but yeah, so far it's been really, really awesome, and it makes you appreciate, like how important these four people are. We got a lot of Umamiya in season one, and even a little bit in season two, but it's nice to meet some of the other, like main characters in the show, like Kaji and obviously Subaki in this episode.
And it's cool too because like we talked about Windbreaker, the character designs are awesome. They're like dripped out, they look sick. It's awesome. It's got the Tokyo Revenger kind of vibe from that aspect, but it's also awesome because they're all like quirky. They're all unique. You know what I mean? They're all have things that like make them special. They're all oddballs that are like kind of like in this group together. So I mean, Umamiya, you know what I mean? With his gardening, we literally were talking about that like last
Yeah.
episode. Like everyone does have their quirks and the things that make them special, and I feel like that's what's so cool is that like they're all unique in their own way. They're all like have a reason to kind of be like an outcast, but then they all kind of stick together and kind of like support each other. And like, yo, like it's cool. Like it just makes up who you are. It's not something to be ashamed of, afraid of, or embarrassed about. You know what I mean? Like you were saying earlier, like you brought up you always into anime. A lot of people just got like made fun of for watching anime. You know what I mean? It was something that like people had picked on. It wasn't like a cool thing to be a part of. It's not like what it kind of grew into today, where you watch anime, you're fucking cool. Back then, it was the opposite.
Dude, especially Naruto. Naruto used to catch so much hate, and like
Because of the
we've made like
Naruto
jokes.
run, bro.
I know somebody, people ruined it for all of us, but like we've joked about it before. Like there's really good life lessons and like deeper
Mhm.
meanings. It's not just a cartoon,
Mhm.
like you said. Naruto was really good with that. One Piece has some good moments, like a lot of those older school animes. But it's nice to see Windbreaker kind of like doing that this season in a lot of instances, and like some of those backstories I'm sure are really relatable for people. And yeah, I don't know Sakura's yet, but from like the foreshadowing and like signs we've gotten, you can already tell it's pretty rough. Like they mentioned him being an orphan and stuff. So I'm really, really excited to see that. But you're right, it like really attaches you to these characters. So like when this next arc comes up, you're gonna be fucking like super invested into it.
Yeah, like they did such a great job getting us hooked on Tsubaki. I really feel like they did a great job, introducing Tsubaki and then kind of progressing their growth. I feel like it's just so cool. I feel like we understand Tsubaki on like a somewhat solid level. The way that he introduced us to the grandfather, right, to the old dude, right. It's not they're not actually related, but like I'm calling him grandpa, right, to the old guy.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like we show up. We're like, yo, like I thought this guy was depressed. And you just like visit him every now and then you kind of like learn about him and his past, and then how they met and how important he is to Tsubaki, and then you kind of see also how important Tsubaki was to them. Because they were like fashionable people, and they're like, oh, like they're kind of get into it. And he was like, oh my god, a kid who like understands fashion, like awesome, like come by more. I know my wife looks amazing, doesn't she? She should come by and see her
Yeah,
more.
dude.
You know what I mean? She dresses up. People, because I gotta be appreciated. You know what I mean? Putting in that kind of work.
Yes.
So the fact that like they like had that connection was just so cool. And then also seeing how everything kind of changed. Seeing that guy, the old couple, be back with his wife, and then seeing that he lost her, and then the struggle he had where he's like, wow, did she actually like want to be with me? Was she actually like happy? It was an arranged marriage. Of course, I loved her, but like, did she love me? And of course, like you have Sakura's growth in all of this, and his little moments where like he sees the picture and he gets red, and I literally have it wrote down like, Sakura, why is your face so red? And he's like, hell if I know. Like he's
Yeah.
so done. He's like, bro, I'm done. He's like an alarm. Like we've been getting like very emotional the past couple episodes, and I feel like Sakura has just been an emotional detector. You know what I mean? That's what he's been used as. They show him the picture, he gets red. Like, what's going on? He's like, well, seeing you two like that reminded me of Tsubaki and Umemiya. The way that they are, and that's when I was like, oh really? And then they kind of realized like, oh, she did love you. And then they kind of realized like what happened, where he's like, I just wish. By the way, remind me of Aya hides her feelings in Russian. The way he kind of said that, where he's like, oh, wish you kind of look at me the same way you look at fashion. And she's like, wait, like you know what I mean? Kind of like says it to the side type of thing, like under his breath. And then she was just like you don't think I look at you or love you? Like that's crazy. And that's when she like planted the tree. They took the picture, and that's where Sakura was like, yeah, like she clearly loved you. So I thought that was the whole thing's been really awesome. I've been loving it.
Dude, the tree was such like a really
Mm-hmm.
sweet symbol and like a really great way to tell like, a pretty simple love story. Like I just thought it was extremely well done, and like that's what I mean. If you're not watching every week, you miss something like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
so good, and I think it's moments like those that make Windbreaker such a great anime. Besides, obviously, like the comedy and like the fights and everything. But yeah, dude, Soccer getting all red and embarrassed like the whole episode was really funny, and like you could tell he's like picking up on the right things. Like he's not an idiot. I mean, it's just a little start for affection growing up.
Bro, we were literally like, bro, I can't wait for their date. And Sakura shows up to the date, and he thinks this is what we think it is too. Like they're just gonna hang out and shit. And he's like, "There's other people here." He's like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
And Sakura's like, "Oh fuck," Sakura's looking forward to it as well.
Dude, I was dying. He was like so genuine about it too. It's like that's my guy.
Yeah, dude.
Excellent.
He's such an amazing dude, and that's also cool about the backstory too. Is because like yeah, when we looked at their backstory, like the old couple, it was him just kind of like head over heels for her. You know what I mean? And kind of just like just adoring her and just loving her, and then seeing that like that part of the backstory where he was like yeah, I just wish you look at me the same way you look at fashion. You know what I mean? I wish I'd get your attention, and then she kind of like pouts and was kind of like you fucking asshole, like you don't realize that. And then she kind of plants the tree, and then he's like, oh, let's take a picture. It's the only one they have. It's just like such like a sweet moment where it's like, dude, that couple is not only dream couple, you know what I mean, just looking fly as fuck all the time, just absolutely,
Killing it.
bro. The sidewalk is their runway. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
But then the way that they love each other, the way that they are towards other people, they're so welcoming and accepting and just kind to Subaki, which is just incredible. Like they are the dream. Like they are incredible. And then yeah, it was just, I don't know, the whole episode was just phenomenal from start to finish. I was blown away.
Dude, so good. You're exactly right. That couple is goaded. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to end up like that. Yeah. The sidewalk is their runway. It's the perfect way to put it. They were awesome, and like, I mean, everything else aside, I feel like that was probably the best episode of the season so far. I feel
Yeah.
like we're right in that middle. Things are like really starting to pick up, like you mentioned earlier. But dude, super super good. Just goes to show you like good storytelling. Like, and if you dive into these characters, makes an anime just so much better.
Yeah, and we were kind of worried too that like Windbreaker would kind of be like Demon Slayer a bit, where it's like it's more focused on the fights. You have like multiple episodes, like let's say 80% of the season is going to be fighting, and only 20% is going to be like the dialogue and the story progression. But this season has kind of proved opposite, where it's like no, we're actually going to have times of like story progression and character development and growth instead of just pure fighting. Like it's insane how far into the season and we haven't gotten into a fight yet with the main villain. You know what I mean? It seems like that's gonna be like a last couple episodes type of thing. It seems like we still have way more room for growth and kind of like a more of like the slice of life kind of aspect to the anime.
Yeah, and it feels like this upcoming arc will be longer. Like this will be a lot
Mm-hmm.
more involved than, something quick like Shistorin or Keel. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of cool too. They're like really ramping up for a bigger arc. Yeah, and it's crazy. We literally got like a look at the villain at the end of the second episode and haven't gone back to it. But it just goes to show you like how deep the world is, and like it's cool that they're exploring all the other characters before you really get into like a major arc.
Yeah, I'm really happy that season two's been this good. I'm happy it's getting so much attention and talked about. It's something that we had to make a video on when it first kind of dropped. I'm like, yo, why aren't people talking about this more? The only Windbreaker people know is the cycling manga. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the fact that like it's finally getting some attention and some like momentum in season two, I think is absolutely awesome. It seems like people are like looking to pick it back up as well, which is great. Hopefully, some of the arguing and like controversy that the community has kind of got into isn't going to affect it come awards time. You know what I mean? I know we don't acknowledge the Crunchyroll awards anymore because they're fucking dog
Yeah.
shit. And they're stupid. The nominations are atrocious. I just hope that it gets the love and attention it deserves at the end of the season. You know what I mean? At the end of the year, it's something that people can look back on and be like, yeah, season two is fucking incredible.
Yeah, hopefully people receive it that way because
Yeah.
I mean, so far it's been nothing short of perfect. I've been absolutely loving it. I hope, yeah, people kind of feel the same way about it, regardless of how you feel about, the whole thing. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But it was still, it was still incredibly well done. And like, if you couldn't watch that episode and appreciate just the storytelling, but also like the route they took, I don't know what to tell you, man. I thought it was sensational. And yeah, hopefully it does get recognized at the awards because it really has like everything we're looking for, not
Mhm.
just like you said, 80% combat and it's just Sakura the MC beating everybody up. It's definitely deeper than that.
Yeah, like if we look at it from like an anime standpoint, it's like all right, it's got the openings, it's got solid endings, it's got great artwork and animation. Cloverworks is absolutely killing it. The character designs are phenomenal, and it's got a great mix of okay, the fight scenes are choreographed beautifully, it's fluid, it's clean, it's incredible. But then also we have that Vinland Saga, season two kind of level growth and depth. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, dude, it's just hitting. Like if you can't love and appreciate it, fucking don't watch it and shut up. You know what I mean? It's that simple.
Yeah,
Because like you're missing
exactly.
out on a dime, and I hate to break it to you, but like it's just your loss.
That's on you, bro. If
Yeah.
you can't enjoy that, that's on you.
If you can't appreciate a 10 out of 10, then you're just you're gonna be watching some fodder anime. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Otter. Definitely. That's awesome.
But
Yeah,
yo,
Windbreaker's been so good.
dude, I know it's been incredible. I'm so glad it also like hit this hard in season two because like this has been a season that where like we talked about like a lot of animes came out of nowhere and like have been like great. They've been really good, and the fact that season two is like yeah we're gonna be at the top of this list. It's like okay, I'm sorry,
Well done.
I was a little worried.
I wasn't familiar with your game, but that's not true. We absolutely were.
We were, it is what it is. But To Be Hero X, what an episode! What an episode! What the fuck? Okay, first of all, and he was literally like, yo, like right before we started recording, he's like, yo, have you watched the To Be Hero X episode? I'm like yeah, like it's awesome. He's like, yeah. So why do they need to kill someone at the end of every episode? Why does every episode need to
Yeah.
end with a death? Like it's insane.
I love it though. Nobody's safe. You know what I mean? You're
Mhm.
like kind of wary of some of these characters, and I definitely did not expect the manager dude to get it. That was kind of a heroic move too. That was a flex.
Okay, like, ugh, bro, I'm like so like, all right. Listen, here's what I think they should have done. when I saw the gun go up and it like was pointed at the guy's head, cut the episode there. Just end the episode there, right? If you're gonna make us
Nah.
suffer, make us suffer. You know what I mean? But like, okay, I also hate that it happened so much. I hate that it happened because this entire episode, there's so much to go over. Like, absolutely so much to go over. Literally, these episodes are so packed each and every week. She's been hinting on the I've been watching it in English. It drops like English and Japanese at the same exact time. So I've been watching it in English. The female MC in this arc actually is Hori from Horimiya's VA. She also is the female MC too in Hell's Paradise. She's awesome. One of my favorite female VAs of all time. I'm terrible with names. That's why I forget them half the time. I recognize that voice anywhere. That is a voice that I will always remember. She is incredible, so incredibly talented. The fact that she voices her makes it even better. Icing on the cake. She's been hinting at all episode where it's like, hey, I know you like me, you fucking asshole. Fucking say something. Man up. She's like, she brings up, like, why'd you lie about what like, Cyan, was it the band?
Yeah, Lucky Cyan or whatever.
Like inside, yeah. She's like, why'd you lie about that? She's like, you want to go? Like, she's like, what are you holding back? You know, like, I'm always gonna be here and support you. You just gotta be upfront and honest, or I'm just gonna walk away. I can't wait for you. What does she mean by wait, buddy? Like, pick up the pieces. If she's saying, hey, you gotta make a move, or I'm not gonna wait for you. What do you think she's relating to? What do you think she's trying to like? Kind of trying to bring up here. Like, the guy is just not taking a hint to save his goddamn life, and the problem is that they're in this weird goddamn love triangle, right? Or so he thinks, with her, like, the manager, him, and the manager then just goes and drops dead. That we know of. Like, that is gonna fuck everything up in a relationship kind of standpoint. So when that happened, I was like, dude, get me out, we're done. Like, it's gonna be such a disaster now. We were so close, sort of, you know what I mean? Like,
So stressful for my guy. I
yeah.
feel like a lot of it stems from his like insecurities, of having like no trust value. Kind of feels like a fraud or a loser or whatever.
Yeah.
Even with the whole Esol thing, and like he has power, and all the kids meet him at the shop, which I thought was hysterical. My man's like, yo, since I helped you out, how about you make me some money real quick? And he like, they show the board and it's like three drinks for 2 handshakes. I was dying. I thought that was so funny. It's such a goofy like promotion.
Yo,
Like,
really?
all those kids come to meet him, like they're having a great time, like the hairstyles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he still is like insecure and won't be like, I don't want to say committed to the bit because he kind of is, but like he just has like very low self-esteem. I feel like he doesn't have that confidence, and that's like, I don't know, at times painful to watch. My man is actively fumbling the bag with the female MC. Like, she definitely made plenty of hints, and yeah, this is definitely going to be stressful. I feel like this was not the step the relationship needed, but it's no longer a triangle. It's definitely just that.
It's definitely not a triangle anymore.
No hate to the manager. My guy was an absolute wingman.
Bro, that's
but
fine.
he is definitely out of the picture. He's out of the picture.
No. Okay, first of all, we gotta get that off. Like, we gotta get that cleared up. He's definitely not out of the picture. If we know anything about this goddamn anime, no one's safe, but at the same time, no one's screwed. Let's remember episode 1's cliffhanger. Let's remember Moon in the bed in a pile of blood. You know what I mean? And she's fine, that we know of. So, like, well, actually, is she fine? I don't know. She got shot again in the head. Listen, like...
Dude, you never know. Everybody's taking bullets, man. It makes it, like, so exciting. Also, I wanted to point out, my man in Lighter coming through with a clutch save.
So... Okay.
That was one of my favorite parts of the episode. My boy really stepped up.
Bro, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, are we gonna see Nice make a return? Because, like, and Lighter, like, just came in and was like, actually... I'm here to represent my client. And it's like, yo, redemption?
Yeah.
Redemption? Like, alright, well, redemption arc in the middle of this, like 5 seconds. Clears his name.
All about it.
Not just clears his name, he comes out and is like, oh yeah, you're the new Esol. Like, by the way, you're replacing another motherfucker, which, by the way, again, ripped? We see, like, Esol without, like, his armor on or his shirt. Bro is just jacked with all these fucking scars, missing an arm. And it's just like, I don't want to go against that guy. bro, we gotta tell our MC, we gotta tell our boy to get out. Like, he's gotta stop fucking around because it is not gonna end well for him. If that guy's against him, forget it. Like, he doesn't need trust factor or the trust value. Like, he can just fuck you up with his bare
He'll still
hands.
just kick his ass.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's gonna come down to like trust value and him getting
Mm-hmm.
um, more like power or whatever. That's the only way. Because yeah, the real Esol is yoked. That dude is brolic. But yeah, he has all those scars, so you know he's got like fucking plenty of battle experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, MC is out of his league there.
Dude, it's like, it's insane. So, like, we got Isol. Isol's absolutely jacked, looking sick, and we also kind of see where he's at in this moment of time. Like, he seems more about, like, corporate, heroing. He's kind of, like, launching his action figure line or his figurine line or whatever the fuck it is. He's more focused
Yeah.
on that. He's not, like, out on the streets anymore. Like, we see him jacked. We see him still training and, like being ready. But it's like, we don't see him saving anybody. Like, to be fair, our boy is actually out there like saving people. It's not staged, you know what I mean? He's actually like doing shit and helping people out. And the fact that too, like they called him out on it. Like first of all, fuck that other manager. Our boy's manager's alright. His manager, scummy.
Scumbag.
He set that shit up. But like it worked against him because it kind of like he had some fans. The kids loved him because he's very like like with the youth. Like he started out doing performances for them. You know what I mean? And engaging with them and kind of relating to them. Where it's like, hey, we both love this hero. Like, isn't this fun? That's what kind of got him into it because like Isol saved him when his parents died. So he kind of like stays with that when he actually becomes a hero and gets trust value, and he kind of like stays with the community, I guess is a good way to say. You know what I mean? He's very engaged with people. He's going to sit there and shake hands, yeah, at a cafe. So it was like a really interesting clash, and the fact that the other manager of actual Isol was like, nah, no, he's a fraud, it worked against them because our boy in later came in was like, actually, nah, he's clear. Like it wasn't staged at all. Everyone's like, oh my god, he's the real deal, and then became the actual guy. Like he sort of replaced Isol at this point, which is incredible. It's insane.
And it's a really, really good way to like introduce him into the story, but also like keep him with like the I mean, I just power system for a
Mm-hmm.
lack of a better word, but like you can see exactly kind of like how this shit goes, and it really matters what the public thinks of you. That's basically where all your powers derive from. So
Yep.
any little thing, and like it's not like Esol's made a mistake per se. Although you are right, my man is absolutely not helping anybody.
Yeah.
Seems like pretty self-absorbed, and like you're exactly right. Our MC is like stopping robberies. He's like helping people. He's hanging out with kids. He's like obviously he's a community guy.
He's like
We
the
like our
neighborhood
MC.
Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, he's cool. But it's like kind of funny how that's like actually what's giving him power, doing
Mm-hmm.
the right thing, versus Esol, who's just kind of like the commercial brand or commercial version of that brand,
I
where he doesn't really, he's not like spending time with kids. And even the second hero, that nice beat, or not that he
Oh, the
beat
fake
him.
one, his friend, who's like his rival, his nemesis.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? It was still like different than that.
Yeah, like here's the thing. It seems like the public just wants genuine. You know what I mean? That's the same thing with Nice, where Nice kind of revealed himself. He's like, I'm not the actual Nice. That guy died. You know what I mean? But they're like, wow, wait, he actually cares about Moon, and they started believing in him, and he ended up being able to beat him
Yes.
later, and that was like so cool. It's like, okay, now you have this kid who's also just another hero fanboy that is just trying his best, trying to do the right thing, trying to just save people, and people are like, yo, like, I fuck with that, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the heroes at the top have kind of just, the fame's gotten to their head and they've gone into the business side of it too much, you know what I mean? Because, and to be fair, people are like exploiting them and trying to like force them to do this stuff and eventually just kind of give in. And it seems like people are done with that. And it seems like that might be a common, trend in this anime. We kind of see like the fanboys kind of rise up and get power and kind of take over from the guys who've gone a bit more corporate, focusing more on, the income of their, brand deals and shit like that. So I think that was like a really cool thing. And I think that's what makes the trust factor aspect of the power system so fucking cool because you really can overnight, become powerful, become a hero and actually like do the right thing. But it's gonna be interesting to see if that kind of works against them. Like because like one thing we haven't seen yet is that what they believe in is what happens. So they can manipulate and dictate your power. And we haven't seen his powers like differ yet. So I wonder if that is going to happen soon, and we're going to see pretty much how the community or the fan base is going to interact with both our guy and the actual Easel. If they're gonna change either the powers or whatever.
Yeah, you make a really good point. Like, I'm sure just because, we've watched enough anime to know that our good guys are gonna have to run into an issue. I want to know who the guy on the cover is too, like the guy with all the aura and the white hair. Like, it'll
He's the
have to
number one
play
guy.
against him.
I'm pretty sure he's the number one
Oh,
guy
is he? Okay, I
with
kind
the
of assumed, but
glasses,
I
with the
wasn't.
shades.
Yeah, I think so. Like the rainbow shades or whatever.
I think so. I think that's the number one guy. Yeah.
Look, beating him. That guy looks sick. But anyway, back to what I was gonna say. Like, I'm sure just for story's sake, you'll kind of see how like people can gain favor even though they may not be doing the right thing or like they deceive the public.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it'll probably work against them. But I still think it's really cool. It's like a really like down to earth way to like kind of write superheroes versus like a Marvel guy who's just born from another planet or something like that. I feel like it's definitely well done.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's gonna be really cool again just to see what they do more with it because we have 24 episodes and we have a bunch of little different arcs focusing on different characters. So I love to see how they're gonna differentiate between everybody and kind of make things different and kind of make it unique for each and every arc, which is gonna be really really cool. And I think they're doing an amazing job with the nice arc. I feel like that was absolutely incredible. And now this arc, I love how we're getting blend and a lot of the arcs are getting blended now, and we're gonna have them crossover. That's the word I was looking for. With and later being in both the arcs, I'm wondering if Nice is gonna make an appearance at some point, or if our boy is gonna make an appearance in a later arc. That's gonna be super cool as well. I'm so excited to see that kind of stuff. But one thing that they have been doing is dropping absolute nasty, disgusting cliffhangers, and with all these twists and turns. So the question is the manager dead? Is he actually? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna say yes, just because he got capped in the face. So I'm gonna say he is dead.
He was wearing a helmet.
But and it was like the Esol helmet too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he could be alive, but I don't know. Doesn't look good for our boy. But you're right. Like episode 1, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We saw Moon basically get clapped, and she's, I think, fine. But yeah, the cliffhangers you never really know. You know what I mean? Which is a good way to like kind of keep stringing your readers along. Not that you're stringing them along, but like as you build this world and you still have like a bunch of heroes to meet and stuff, it's a good job of like keeping things surprising.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of episode 1, we saw Moon and we're like, she's fucking dead for sure. Then she wasn't. Now she might be, because then we did see her get shot in the head. I don't know why everyone's getting shot in the head. I don't know why that's becoming a common thread between everything. But we still got to see if Moon is alive. Hopefully, we're gonna, come back to that later on. But yeah, it's going to see with this guy too, because like I said, I thought that the episode should end with the gun being pointed at his head. Does he die? Does our guy jump in front of the gun? What happens there? But the fact that it ended with him on the ground with the helmet off and like there's blood, it's like, wait, is he alive? Is that what the whole thing is? Like, oh my god, he's dead, guys, we can't believe he's dead. And the next episode he's in the hospital because he's fine, because it looked like the bullet was like up here, like the blood in the spot was like at the top, maybe like grazed the side of his head at the top. It's not like is all fucked up on the front of his face. You know what I mean? So like there is a way that he could have survived it. So definitely interested for the next episode. Like I need next episode right now. Like I said, To Be Hero X is the most jam-packed fucking anime I've ever seen in my life. Like each episode is so fucking full. Like you see those TikToks or something of like those food places that like have the to-go cases and they just stuff it and like you can't close it, right? There's just too much fucking food. That's what I feel like
Yeah.
2B Hero X is. Like I feel like you can't physically put this much content in these like 24-minute episodes, but they somehow get it to fit. I don't get how, but like they are so jam-packed, so incredible. The story, it seems like it's so well paced, even though it's so goddamn quick. And again, the cliffhangers and the twists and the turns and the way every episode ends, it is just absolutely incredible. So bring us next episode right now, please, and the one after that as well. I would like a double episode week. Is that too much to ask for, a double episode week? Is it? I think it's fair.
Let's manifest it. Let's hope.
Bro, watch it happen.
I would be so hyped, dude. Definitely be popping off on the pod next week.
Yeah, we fucking called it. But bro, I'm super hyped for it. Let's get into another anime we're hyped about, Kowloon Generic Romance. We were kind of gassing this one up since the beginning. Did we ever come back and talk about this yet? Because we were like, hey, this seems like it's going to be a very awesome anime. It's got the romance there, but it's got a lot of twists and turns and what the fuck's going on. Brother, we found out that the MC actually killed the female MC. Like, talk about a what the fuck romance anime. I never had a romance anime where the male MC kills the female MC and the female MC comes back as a different person, but it's still like the same person. You know what I mean? Sounds so confusing.
Outrageous, dude. This was I feel like the first episode where we kind of have like a good idea
Hmm.
of what's going on or a better idea because
Yeah.
there's still like a lot of questions. But yeah, definitely a slow burn in a very good way. I love the story, but I mean, as a watcher, you're just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Between the
Yeah.
dialogue and like the actual lore of what happened to Kowloon City a couple years ago, like
Hmm.
very hard to tell. But we finally got some clues from Miyuki, the doctor. I thought that was really cool. He kind of like has a really good idea of what's going on, and Gwen, the bartender we met in the beginning, he's starting to kind of like drop these lore bombs. It was really, really interesting though. But I feel like we finally have like a little bit of progress. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's where I feel like we're gonna be talking about this, and if you're not following along to the actual anime, you might get super fucking confused because that's what it is. A lot of episodes just kind of drop you and kind of show you little frames of these what the fuck moments where like what is going on. It seems confusing as hell. You're trying to figure it all out. And like you said, this was an episode where it really kind of started to clarify a lot of things. When the bartender, we finally meet up with him again, he gets dumped, and he's like, you know what? I'll fucking tell you guys anything you want to hear. You know what I mean? You want to know something, just ask. I got you. So he's been clearing some stuff up, and we followed along with the plastic surgeon, that doctor, and it kind of seems like that is kind of painting a way broader picture, where it seems like his father is the one who's kind of having the thing in the sky. He's kind of controlling that or made that, and it seems like he lost his son, and he's trying to like recreate his son. He's trying to like regrow him, rebirth him. By the way, what the fuck was that like absolute bomb they dropped where he's both male and female? He's like, yo, can I be pregnant? And like, oh, well, you do have a dick and some like other stuff. He's like, you have both men and female like genitalia, which I don't know how that works. I don't get that. But he's like, but it doesn't work. He's like, they just don't work. So you have a uterus, but you can't put a baby in there. And it was like that also did that like blow your mind? He's like, can I get pregnant? And I'm like, I don't know if you can. But then he's like,
Totally missed it at first. Like, he's gay, whatever. He's like,
yeah.
yeah, can I get pregnant? I'm like, okay. Then he was like, hold up. Like, they just casually, like, skip by that. They just drop that line and then, like, keep it moving. Like, damn, all right, that's wild. And then when he's talking to that, I forget his name. I literally just watched it.
The younger guy.
Yeah, with, like, the sharp tooth and the
Mm-hmm.
blue hair. I don't know. Like, even some of their conversation was just, like, very, very odd. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yeah.
knows what's going on, but it's fucking weird. Like, they're literally growing these people.
Yeah.
I forget what
They're like
the
clones in a way.
Zirconians.
Yeah, they're like clones in a way, pretty much.
So, and then he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like regrow a child that looks exactly like me, give him to my dad as his son, and then he'll have no memories. He'll just be like a vessel. Like,
Yeah, like
kind of dark too.
the whole thing is just like a massive clusterfuck where it's like, what's going on? And I hope they still like pace it well because you're getting too extreme. Or you might just make it too confusing, too what the fuck, and then you just lose people. Because like it is getting so out there, and it's like some of this dialogue is like, dude, what is genuinely happening? So
Yeah.
from what we can tell, let's take a step back. Let's clear it up for everybody. So pretty much we're in the city, Kowloon, right? There's something in the sky, and pretty much there is doppelgangers. So our female MC, right? We end up realizing that she actually had a real self. She's the clone. She's the duplicate, right? And her real self apparently died, and she kind of spawned in and kind of was like, I don't have any memories, but she's living in her apartment, looks exactly like her, and is working at her job. We ended up finding out that the guy she's into, well, they actually had a romantic interest. They were actually engaged, and he apparently killed the real, the real her, right? So that's apparently what happened there. Now, there's a whole lot going on about the clones. So, or the dupes, the doppels. Like Gwen said that he had a second version. He had a clone, but it's now gone. And like, well, how do you know you weren't the clone? He's like, well, because I'm still here and they're gone. And they're like, what? How does that make sense? But she's still here. She's like, yeah. He's like, that's different because your original self died. I didn't. Right? So it's getting into these like, what the fuck's going on type of thing. There's this weird thing in the sky, and pretty much it seems to be collecting memories. Right? It seems like we have a very very rich guy who's the plastic surgeon's dad, who lost his kid. And it seems like he was a failed experiment or an original experiment of this whole thing trying to make artificial life. Like clones, like you said, growing people. And that's why he's both male and female. Because at first he's portrayed as like this dude who's jacked. He's very bougie, right? Very fancy, very elegant.
Yes.
Very like insane. He's and he like mimics like a snake. Like he's got the snake kind of tongue. He's got the snake tattoos and stuff. And even calls himself a snake, right? He's like, that's the way he is, the way he operates.
And his glasses frames are snake, like a
Yeah,
snake tail, which I thought was yeah, very bougie, very cool.
his whole thing is like snakes, right? So we end up finding out that he's, in love with Gwen, right? They're lovers. And we're like, all right, bet. And then that's where you get the lore bomb where he's, wait, actually both male and female. He has both male and female parts. And he has, like, but just nothing works. So he has it, but they just don't work. Like I said, he's like, oh, can I have a kid, right? I guess he was trying to say, can I birth a clone of myself? Because he is, like, I
Yeah.
guess the failed experiment of his dad trying to bring back his original kid, right? And they're like, no, nothing works. And that's when he's like, okay, well, I'll just grow another me. I'll grow another me. I'll make another me, for my father. His dad's apparently entire goal is to bring back his kid, which is why he's got that thing up in the sky collecting memories. Because it's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to use people's memories to create his consciousness again, to create his memories and all that kind of stuff. That's what it seems to be. And he hates his fucking father, obvious reasons. So
Yeah.
his idea, and where you said it was dark, was like, okay, I'll grow another version of me. I'd make it exactly like his kid, but instead of bringing back his memories and personality and consciousness and all this other stuff, I'll make it a dud. That way, I give him hope and then rip his fucking heart out because that guy can go fuck himself, right? So it's getting so trippy. It's getting so insane. There's so many mysteries of what's going on. We still don't know how the original female MC died. We have no idea how that happened. It's still up in the air if that one dude, the male MC, even killed her or not. Because he said yes. Other people are saying he did, and then other people are like, no, that's not that obvious. Like, it's not that black and white. It's a bit confusing. If I tell you how she died, you might follow down the same path. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, what does that mean? So it is literally just an absolute clusterfuck of just like mindfuck. It is awesome. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. It's just incredible. Apparently, Kowloon was destroyed and now was brought back. No one knows it. Some people, that's the crazy thing. Some people can't even see it. That's one of the things they were
Right.
talking about. Some people can't even see the city or even go into it, which is insane.
Dude, it's so crazy. And it's like hard to kind of explain
Mm-hmm.
without watching it. And like even if you do watch it, you're still kind of like in the dark on some things, but it's
Yeah.
been so good, dude. Like the scene where they bring that guy, he plays where Kudo plays, I forget what it is. Like I forget if they're gambling or whatever, they play cards.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kudo always beats him.
Yeah.
Like that guy just disappears, you know what I mean? They bring a new clone in or something like that. There's like been very little like hard evidence of like what's going on, but this episode we finally got some backstory and some lore. So I think the next couple episodes will pop off. But yeah, absolute mindfuck.
Yeah, so he had a mahjong club that he's a part of, and the one guy there,
Mahjong, that's what it
they
was.
brought like another self of him from outside the city, and they brought him into the city, and the guy in the city disappeared. And I was like, wait, what happened with that? And that still makes no sense because did they bring in the real person or the fake? Like, wait, what kind of happened there? Like, it just makes no sense, and you have to watch it, and it's just like incredible, and like it sort of makes sense if you watch it, but at the same time, like, what the fuck? But like, it's
Yeah.
absolutely insane, and I just can't wait to like learn more about what exactly is going on. Gwen being back, I think, is very, very cool, very interesting, and I want to know just so much more. The one, national star, she was brought up, and like, okay, well, like, if she was able to find Kowloon and able to be a resident here, like how, because people are still trying to figure out how, like, what are the criteria to even be able to like see the city or be a part of the city or like welcomed into it. So like there's so many questions, and I just cannot wait for more. Like, it is just so good. I need more answers, but like I said, it's getting way too crazy. It's getting way too out there where it's like you guys kind of reel it back in and kind of clarify some things more, because you're gonna start losing people if you just make it this confusing, insane mess.
Yeah, I could definitely see how people would like maybe drop it or find themselves lost because it is really confusing at times.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe it's better suited to something where you could like sit down and watch like 10, 12 episodes like
Oh my
a
god, yeah.
binge. Whereas week to week you like have all these questions and stuff. So I try to keep that in mind, but yeah, definitely out there. I'm with you. Like start tying some of these points up or like bring us back in and kind of see where we're going for the end of the first season because I have no idea if there's a second season or like kind
Mm-hmm.
of pacing and future of it, but it's been awesome. Like you said, I'm really, really curious to see like what happens the next episode or two.
Yeah, it's like confusing though in an exciting way. So it's not like you're gonna be confused and be like, all right, like what is this? Like this doesn't make sense. It's like, wait, what the fuck is that? Like what happened? Like the explosion at the end? Like, dude, like
Yeah,
the cliffhanger. I mean, like we need next episode immediately. I need to know more. There's so many storylines and plot lines that are like being explored now and opened up. So like I'm just so hyped. That's what I'm talking about. Like anime this season has just been phenomenal, and it is really heating up as we start to get into the tail end of the season, which I am absolutely loving. But some of these are taking off, and like I'm like, dude, I need more. Like we need more. The next week when we talk about Go Go Loser Ranger, that has been fucking phenomenal as well. That is getting so like
Oh
there's
yeah.
not anything that's really missing. I think this season. Don't say it. We're not gonna be talking about the anime that can't be named. All right. Other than that, like it's been insane.
So good, dude. Like this episode of Fire Force was really sick. Obviously, Kowloon has been a trip. Windbreaker, we just went over.
Mm-hmm.
It's been awesome. But yeah, very very good season. I've been really enjoying it. And finally we got that Shinra fight. I was very relieved to see like how that played out. But excellent ending. What a fight.
How didn't everything just burn to the ground at that one point? I mean, Shinra had like the blue flames of just death. We had Burns who was just like molten lava. It's like how was Joker sitting there and not being like melted? You know what I mean? Like how? Like the
Right.
heat had to have been insane.
And then Shinra finally like after the fight, he's just like dripping sweat like
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I'm like, yeah, dude, there's no way. But it was cool how Joker stayed back too. He let Shinra like have his one-on-one and didn't interfere. Like he makes that comment about it's not going to be like a dark hero who changes things, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Made Joker kind of badass, but definitely a good guy.
It feels like this part of the season is like a passing of the torch. Because it's like Burns even said he's like,
Ooh.
"Oh, I'm just an old guy. What am I gonna do?" He's like, "I'm here so you can, overcome me. You can surpass me." And he's like, "That's exactly what you did." Which was absolutely insane. The fight itself, I think, was just absolutely incredible. I thought the animation was great. I feel like it was so fun to watch. It was so exciting. Definitely worth the wait. I definitely really enjoyed it, and I think it ended insanely well. Like, what was that demon? What was that devil? Did they call it? Like that was incredible. One chick called it a four pillar. She's like, "Oh, one of the four pillars is here."
Yeah, that was crazy. Like the ending of that was another cliffhanger. Like really kind of don't know what's going to happen next, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it kind of sucks to see what happened to Burns, but that dude literally came out of nowhere, that demon. I was kind of surprised at that.
Yeah, can I ask something stupid? When she brings up the fourth pillar has like awoken or something like that, right? Was she talking about that devil that spawned in and that took Burns away or like killed him? Or was she talking about Shinra surpassing a level that turned him into something like that? Because something happened with like his connection or whatever. Like you saw it on his ankle, like it kind of glitched out. He was kind of feeling weird, and that's when she then brings up, "Oh yeah, a fourth pillar has awakened." And it's like, wait, did Shinra
And
just reach another level?
maybe because Sho, the younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
also kind of like starts talking about his memories and his older brother and stuff. Like he makes a couple comments about that. So like that very well could be plausible. I feel like that's a pretty good theory, but I was like, who's she talking about? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. And then who the fuck is that guy in the mask who showed up at the end?
No, like, are you serious? Is that a genuine question,
Is it who I think it is?
brother? Brother,
I never seen the mask though. Like the eyes are a
no,
giveaway,
no,
but
no.
I'm
Say
like,
say who it is. Say who it is.
is it Benny Maru?
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm like looking at it.
Brother.
I never seen the fucking mask. I'm like, the eyes are definitely the giveaway. I'm like, yo, who is this? And then obviously the voice, his like Japanese VA is very famous. But I'm like,
People like
is
joke
it
about
though?
superheroes like putting on like a hat and glasses and then going down in public like, oh wow, what a great
Yeah, yeah.
disguise.
Like, yo,
Benny Maru puts on the most it's totally him type of mask, and you're like, wait, who the fuck was that? It's like, dude,
I'm like, I know it's his voice actor, but I've been like wrong before, so I'm like,
you,
am I
you didn't
wrong?
notice it by his outfit? I mean, he was
Yeah,
wearing the
the clothes are
same
the same
clothes
too.
as every. Bro, I literally
Just the,
put in my notes. I'm just like I put Benny with a bunch of exclamation points. I didn't even question. I'm like, dude, that's Benny Maru. He finally showed up.
you were right though. I didn't think he was gonna show up because he said he was gonna stay out of it. I was just doubting myself the whole time. I'm like, yo, hold up. There's no way. Well,
Yeah.
there's not no way, but yeah, that was sick though. Very cool cameo. Questionable mask, but I didn't think he was going to show up. You said that he might, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? Because they before they like set out to do this, there was all that talk of like not betraying the empire and all that
Mhm.
stuff and being traitors, which I guess would explain the disguise, if
Yeah.
you could call it that.
Well, apparently it works pretty well.
Hey man, fooled me. You got me.
Bro, watch the next episode happen. It's actually not Benny. It's somebody else. I'm like, oh, whoa, fuck. You're right.
And dude, I would be livid. I knew from the powers though. It's like, all right,
Dude, and that was so cool the way that he made his entrance, because it wasn't like some like badass thing necessarily. It was like they're fucked, they're gonna die type of thing, and everyone's just like, actually, wow, that's actually kind of crazy. They're actually gonna survive this. I'm like, wait, what? Like, yeah, calculations say that they're actually gonna survive this. Like, I can tell. And then Benny Morrow pops up, and it's like, oh yeah, they survived.
okay.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yo,
'Cause
they
you
had
know,
that.
good.
They had that scene with Maki. I was like, yo, are they about to just kill Maki like right randomly in the middle of the season? I'm like, there's no way. That was sick though. Again,
Bro.
had me fooled.
Oh my. Okay, yeah,
How is she gonna? How's she gonna survive this?
we gotta talk about a lot. So pretty much, I think that the whole like 90-80% of the app, right? It was cool. Shinra fight, awesome animation. We were waiting for this, great. We saw the blue flames, awesome, right? Have the ending. You're wondering if Burns is gonna die or not, because that's gonna impact Shinra pretty fucking hard. You know, you're wondering if he killed Burns, if he donated Burns. He didn't either. Some devil demon shows up. Okay, what the fuck is this? We all have questions now. This is absolutely insane. Is this gonna be something else? The cool chick with the crown, awesome character design. I still think is one of the coolest. Brings up, oh, a fourth pillar has awakened. Oh, was it the devil or is it Shinra? You know what I mean? Which one is it? So which one is this new magical beast that's a fucking absolute animal that's going to destroy everything? Is it our boy or is it that thing? Right? Like, which one do we have to deal with? Okay. Then we end up getting into the, okay, everyone's gonna die. Dragon releases this dragon breath where it's supposed to wipe everybody out. Maki's like, alright, I'll tank this. Like, Maki, relax.
And
Relax.
everybody fully believes it. They're all like, "Wow, way to go, Maki." I'm like,
Well,
right.
they were like, Maki, don't do that, don't do that. But then she does it, and they're like, oh, I never doubted her for a second.
It's our Maki.
But that's the thing, it wasn't Maki at all. It was the sister. I forget the sister's actual name, the nun. We can see her kind of like have this like second form and kind of did this magical thing, and it seems like she saved everybody. The one dude brings it up, was like, hey, was this like something Grace, something like that? Was this like this
Yeah,
magic form? Like that was crazy. And then the science dude looks over at her like, the fuck did you just do? Like, what are you? We
that's
slept on you for way
that's
too
what
long.
sold me.
Yeah.
Because he's like very analytical and he doesn't
Mhm.
have the same powers. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he was giving her that like suspect look. I was like, all right, she had to do something. And she had that like look on her face before like dragon breath.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not sure what the whole Grace thing is, but very, very cool. That could end up making her like super OP.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. It's like, let's dive more into that. Is she like special? Is she someone who's like super unique, who's kind of just been like chilling out or like undercover or like just hidden in plain sight type of thing? And then of course, then we have the Benny Morrow coming in and just absolutely starting to lay down the heat. It was like, what's up, bitches? I'm here to save the day. You guys need an exit plan? The extraction has arrived. You know what I mean? And that was so cool. Where like all the villains kind of talking about, we're like, oh yeah, they're gonna die. Well, that sucks for them. And like, actually, they're not going to. And Benny shows up, and it's just absolutely badass. So what an insane last 4 minutes of the episode. The last 4 minutes had
Crazy.
literally, guys, all of that was the last 4 minutes. It was absolutely incredible. It like finally gives us what we wanted, what we've been waiting for since the season started pretty much, but then leaves us in a way where it's like, yo, we need next week now, like right
Yes.
now. Like you just set up they just set up in the last 4 minutes like the rest of the arc, it feels like.
Dude, I know it was crazy, and like I had kind of complained about it a little bit. Like it was kind of a slow burn, and like
Mhm.
there was like 2 straight weeks where we got like no progress on like Shinra and Burns' fight. Fight was fucking phenomenal,
Yeah.
and the whole build up for it was really, really good. Obviously, all the other stuff, Arthur's fight was really cool too, but I feel like this episode, yeah, exactly, got me like locked back in. I'm dying for that next episode. And like find out what happens with Burns and everything. It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. And also, like you said, kind of how that impacts Shinra, the whole, how everything went down.
Yeah, like that was insane. Like bro's in some bad shape. He was just like covered in burns, pretty much. He was just like ash. The way they was after that fight, and like he just kept sweating. He's like, oh my god, I was sweating that whole fight, but it was just instantly evaporating because it was so hot. Like that's insane. Like that's insane, dude. He fucking killed it. The way he just kept like evil, like the one Joker was just like, dude, how is he still accelerating in that position? And he's like, when I start accelerating, nothing can stop me. And it's like, yo, let's go, Shinra, dude. He just kept
So
turning it
tough.
on. He just kept going to that next gear and just kept pushing forward. It was awesome. Such an amazing fight. And then again, the last 4 minutes were incredible, incredible.
Yeah, dude, Fire Force is popping off. It'll be sick to see how Benny saves the day.
Hmm.
I'm hyped for that, but yeah, also to kind of see the fallout and how Shinra kind of deals with it. And maybe like we'll get something with his brother, but still don't know who that fourth pillar is. I mean, I feel like it would be an easy guess to say it's Shinra. I mean, the
Yeah.
dude is the MC.
Hmm.
But it's tough to know. You know what I mean? That demon obviously is no joke. But yeah, it'll be cool to see how this season kind of like shapes up and plays out.
You was crazy. Are we in season 3? Right? Season 3.
Yes.
It's so cool watching Soul Eater between season 2 and season 3 because you see so much of the
Mm.
parallels and a lot of the same art styles and stuff where like it really is awesome. I know a lot of people who watch Fire Force first hate Soul Eater because it's just way too much of like a difference and you think, oh, people say like, oh, you like Fire Force, you really like it. Soul Eater's from the same universe, same shit. It's not. It's not. People then go to that and like, wait, what the fuck is this? But this is an older anime, especially with the style. You know, you go from Fire Force with the current really nice, animation to then Soul Eater. Then people are like, ugh. But it's like, it's actually, in my opinion, Soul Eater's better. Just saying, Soul Eater's really good. Like, just saying, it's really good. But like seeing them both, it's actually been like really, really cool. I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees with me here. If anyone who's seen Soul Eater and is also watching Fire Force, but like I'm so glad I did it because seeing the parallels, seeing a lot of the same artwork and the same kind of things, it's just like, yo, like it just looks so cool. That was something that really reminded me, especially when Burns gets stabbed, that little demon thing kind of goes up. It just screams Soul Eater to me. It was so good. I loved it.
Very like iconic art style. I
Mm-hmm.
love that scene where the demon like comes out of the building and then like dispels. That was really, really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice touch. But yeah, it's I like perfect timing on your end to be able to like kind of see them both from the same perspective. I think that's sick.
Dude, it really is good. If you guys do like Fire Force, go watch Soul Eater, but don't go into it thinking it's the same thing. It is not. It is not the same thing. They're from the same universe, but it's like different time periods. So it is really, really good. Fire Force has been killing it. I think this season, like you said, it had a bit of a slower start, but I didn't mind it because I also wasn't fully focused on the Shinra fight. I was really enjoying the Arthur fight. I think Arthur fucked shit up and definitely kept us entertained. And now we had the Shinra fight, and now I think we're gonna go back. Maybe Benimaru's gonna help save the day. They're gonna escape, and then they're gonna get into dialogue. You know what I mean? We're gonna yap. We're gonna talk about what went down.
Yeah.
We still have to save Obi. Captain Obi is still in trouble. You know what I mean? He still needs to be
Yeah.
saved. So I feel like when we get into the dialogue, that's when a lot of things are gonna get explained. And then I cannot wait to get into the next part where the action kind of picks up again.
Yeah, dude, Fire Force has been sick. A little bit of a slow start, but so far it's been delivering everything we wanted to.
Yeah, like dude, again, everything's been crazy. Windbreaker has been absolutely killing it. To Be Hero X, the most packed fucking episodes in the game this like right this year, not even right now, like this year. I mean, Kowloon
Crazy.
generic romance. What the fuck? What the fuck? And now Fire Force, and then again, guys, next week we're gonna be introducing and bringing in Go Go Loser Ranger again and again, like Windbreaker dropped season 1 last season, like last year. I mean, and we instantly had to make a video on it talking about it, like, yo, like people aren't watching this. You really should look into it. It's really good. Season two is keeping up with everything, just like Windbreaker is. Like the past episode, I know you haven't seen the past episode yet, which is why we're waiting until next week to watch it. I mean, to talk about it, dude. We got some like twists and turns where you're just like, yo, like I
Crazy.
don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. I don't want to risk any spoiling anything, but it's just like I cannot wait to talk about it next week. I just want to say that I cannot wait to dive into it. It's so good.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm hyped, dude. That's such a good anime. And like season one had a lot of really like surprising twists and stuff. So I'm not surprised that season two does. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's been really, really good so far.
But I think that's it. It's been amazing. Anime has been amazing. Super excited for this week. I know you guys are too. I know you guys are too. But is there anything you want to say before we close it out?
Dude, it's been so good. And it's
Hmm.
crazy to think that like there was stuff that wasn't on our radar, like To Be Hero X that's been like so good and so gripping. That's why
Hmm.
you just gotta like watch don't want to say watch everything, but as much as you can, you know what I mean, or close to it.
That's what's great about just like making content on stuff though, because that's how you find it. That's how we found To Be Hero X. That's how we found Kowloon Generic Romance. Literally from clips, from YouTube Shorts, from people talking about it. So it's great. If you guys like this stuff, you know that's awesome. Keep watching. Tell your friends about it. Right? We gotta tell everybody about this amazing anime because then we get more seasons. And you know, there's nothing worse than when you get into an anime. It's fucking incredible, and it only has one season. That should be against the law.
12 episodes is not enough. It should be against the law. You
Yeah.
need at least a second season.
Exactly. But listen, guys, that is it. Hope you guys had a great week. Hopefully, you guys are excited for this week because it is going to be amazing as always. But we'll see you guys next week talking about a bunch of stuff like Windbreaker again, To Be Hero X, Go Loser Ranger, and so much more. So that is it. Have a fun and safe week, and peace.